Hey, good morning, juniors. Welcome to Bible Class Online, Bible 3 Online. I hope that we can get back in the classroom soon and engage in some conversations about the topics at hand. But for now, you're gonna be working at your own pace with some deadlines and getting things done in the comfort of your own home, I guess. And today we are starting New Spirituality. How many of you have ever seen maybe a car passing by on the interstate or on the highway, wherever, a bumper sticker that says coexist? And it's got all these religious symbols that make up the letters. Well, that coexist idea comes from this idea of new spirituality. Now, just a reminder to you, you guys have notes. I'm sharing with you my slides, so you'll be able to kind of walk through that and learn from that as well as your textbook. Today, your assignment is to start reading your textbook, but you also have a discussion board on Google Classroom. And that discussion board will involve your reading for today. You're going to read a little bit over halfway through chapter 6 in your textbook and then respond to that on the discussion board. You know how that works. You respond your own answer, your own thoughtful answer, and then you read and respond to at least two of your classmates. Respond to as many as you want. I would encourage you to read them all and respond as you want. But make sure you do respond to at least two with a thoughtful idea, not an I agree or very good or something simple like that. A thoughtful response to what they have to say. Okay, maybe even asking each other some questions. You disagree? Call them out. Have fun with it. But be respectful in the way that you handle everything on there. Okay? Now, thinking about new spirituality, I want to tell you, and this just kind of a short introduction to it today. You're going to jump into reading. You're going to see some crazy ideas. You're going to see some ideas, though, as crazy as they may sound, really, there's some ideas that you may have seen in movies, in music, or maybe even experience some other people say it. Or encounter it. I know we've heard from some of the students about yoga and some of the spiritual teachings and things that go on there. Well, that's connected to new spirituality. And so as we think about that, just a couple of ideas. You understand that new spirituality is kind of a nuanced term for New Age, transcendentalism, neo-paganism, new consciousness, or spirituality. Now, your book's going to point out that a common phrase we hear in society today is this: I'm spiritual, but not religious. What does that mean? Well, it talks about having a desire or seeking after spiritual things without being connected to an organized religion. And so that's a concept that's very, very, very much connected to new spirituality. And so when you look at that, when you think about that, just understand that those are some other titles for it. New spirituality really began to take hold in the 60s and 70s here in the United States. Now there were some remnants of it earlier, but with the rise of the hippie movement and everything that happened in the 60s and 70s around our nation, you'll see some of that. And actually, one of the questions I'm going to ask you to journal on at the end of the week is regarding that and how that may have affected the impact and growth of new spirituality in our society. So you, as you read, think through that. There are a couple of things I want you to look for as you read. A major term is the term consciousness. Now, we'll try and define that in a later video, but I want you to think through what does it mean, consciousness? What are we talking about? How do we see that? And so just to give you this textbook definition, new spirituality is a pantheistic worldview. Pantheism means all is God. We're doing online learning because of a pandemic, a worldwide problem with a virus. Okay, pantheism, all is God. God is all, that type of idea. New spirituality is a pantheistic worldview that teaches everything and everyone is connected through divine consciousness. What do you think that means? Think about that for a minute. Now, as you read some articles that I'm going to share with you later in the week, you're going to begin to piece some things together and see the definition of that idea, I think, although it's difficult to define, and you'll make that connection there. Now, with that, I'm gonna stop our learning time and just kind of give you an idea about an assignment that's coming down the pipe, probably next week. And so you can already begin to think about this. I'm going to give you an assignment. I'm going to throw some movies at you, some movie titles. You're not limited to those movie titles. I'll throw some other ideas at you. But when I throw these titles at you, I want you to begin to look for this concept of new spirituality in movies. And so I'm going to give you some titles to look at, and then you're going to write a response and how you see new spirituality in it. Tomorrow, the next video will include a brief excerpt from Guardians of the Galaxy 2. And I want to encourage you to watch that video first before you watch the teaching video tomorrow. Okay, so we're talking about Star Wars, The Matrix. We recently watched The Art of Racing in the Rain, which has heavy new spiritual overtones to it. If you Google new spirituality in movies, you'll find a lot of people talking about spiritual ideas and references in Disney movies. Now, I'm not saying all those videos are I've not watched very many of those videos. But what I am telling you, that there is an idea that this is a discussion out there. And I think it's important to see how subtle that can be in our society. Because if you remember, we're talking about 6 major worldviews that are prevalent in our society and worldwide today. This is one of them. And it has subtly taken a hold in Christian circles and among Christians, as well as a secular and the society at large. And so I want you to be looking for that, maybe even in a song, if you know of a song that resonates. So as you read, be thinking about that, ways that you see it, and I look forward to hearing from you on that soon. Okay? Talk to you soon. Love you guys.